Okay, so we have this really long, very big footrest, poupée, tabouret, however you call it. And we don't like it, we don't use it. So I'm thinking what we can do is just cut it to size that we want. Just add a little piece of wood, change up the fabric, and then we'll have a footrest for the armchair. So I don't have a real plan. We're going to cut down and then cut the side if we can and just see what happens, as always. Okay? Okay, first side is done. So today I'm going to show you how to reupholster this footstool, and I'm also going to show you how to make nice and neat corner pleats. So stick around for that one. So I didn't see this coming. Can you see inside we have springs? I'm going to see if I have something to clip them away. Ooh, okay. We did it! Next we took off all the old fabric and sponges, and then I screwed the top and the bottom part back together. Okay, so we've gone and added a piece of wood here and then some wood on top here to mimic the ones that were already in place. I know we have them here as well, so we can make these little feet. I'm going to stick them on, and then I'll just have to cover this side here, and then we can add some fabric. Okay, now that we have the wood base on, we've got the feet put on, now we can focus on this part here. So you might think I'm a bit crazy, but instead of putting a big piece of wood onto it, which would be, I suppose, common sense, I'm going to go in and I've got some styrofoam, which I'm going to place over here. And then I've got some cardboard, which I'm going to place here. Why? I don't know. I have the wood, but I just thought this would be a good idea. It would keep it lighter. It'd be easier. This would protect the springs. I don't know. Am I crazy? Yeah, a little bit. Anyways, let's do it. Okay, so we went to make up some more fabric. We're gonna put that on, but before we do, we have to apply some more cushioning just on the side here, my DIY side. Okay, for the fabric, I'm going to do it in two pieces. We're going to first do this piece to here, and then we'll go around doing the rest. To do the corners, I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. We're just going to do one pleat down the side. Just take your fabric, push in on the side, bring it down onto the side of the corner. Get it as tight as possible. You're going to take your side, go around the edge, and then this part that's flapping up, I'm going to tighten it and bring it down. When you have everything nice and neat the way you like it, you just have to staple it in place. So once we put the corners together, it's easier then to get these sides down straight. Now that all the four corners have been done, I can start working on the middle piece, tightening it down. Find your wood that you can staple into. So what you're going to notice is that all the fabric then will begin to bundle up over here. And we're going to have to undo the staple here, fix it up again, and redo the corner. So don't put too many staples at the beginning on your corners, because you will have to undo them just to tidy things up again. Okay, so now that we're getting to this area here, you'll see what I'm talking about how it's bunched up. So what I'm going to do is take the staples out of here, and then we're just going to tidy this back up again, and then just re-staple it. And you can staple it properly then by adding extra staples in to make sure it's nice and secure. And then we can continue that the whole way around the entire footstool. And then after that, we'll work on this part. Remove the staple. I got my staple gun on Amazon, which I can link for you below. And you can see at the back of it here, it has a little piece which can help you to pick out staples, and I find this really helpful. If you don't have this, you could use a knife. That's what I used to use, but obviously be really careful with that. I'm also being mindful of the direction that the corners are going in. So you'll see this one goes out facing that way, so I'm going to make this one going out facing that way too. And then on this side, because this one's facing inwards, the other corner will face inwards as well, if that makes any sense. Anyways, that's just my preference. It's not something you have to do. Okay, for this part here, we're going to take some fabric and we're going to staple it into place. We're going to keep things nice and simple. I'm actually going to flip it up. Okay, let's get started. So I know that most of you won't have a big footstool like I had here, but you could do this with any kind of, what do you call them? Pouffe, tabouret, or footstool? I'm used to saying pouffe. Leon says tabouret. Anyways, what I wanted to say is that you could easily go out and find a second-hand one that's in a charity shop or anything that's going for sale cheap. Or if you have one at home already, you can redo that one. They're quite easy to reupholster. Or another option is, which I haven't done, but if you're interested I can make a video maybe on one, would be to take like a box or something and to turn that into one. It's definitely possible. You just have to get creative and think it through a little bit and then stick some fabric on top and nobody will ever know. Okay, let's get back to this. Once you have the sides done, we're going to go and do the underneath part. Try not to have them too close to the edge because you don't want anyone to see the shine of the staple, so just bring them in a tiny little bit more. If you can, that is. Okay, so I just want to show you a few different options you have for when it comes to hiding your staples on the sides. Okay, so what I did is, so first I did this side here and this side here. I stapled it onto this part. Now, for this part, you have a few options on what you can do. So what I've gone and done here, I took my fabric and I turned it inside out. And then what we're going to do is flip this over. However, you can't do that on both sides. So for this end, you have an option between, one would be using some hemming tape, stick it on and iron over it. That's honestly, I think, the best option. The next option you have is to staple here and a staple there. And then you can use a tiny little bit of fabric and glue it on top of it just to cover the staple. It's like a patchwork and it would work just as fine, just as easily. It depends on the look you're going for. And then for this edge, what we're going to do is just fold it over like this. And I'm just going to use a little bit of glue to hold it in place and it'll have a nice seam. Or if you want, you can staple if you can get right in at the edge. But mine will show the staples, so I'm not going to do it. But yours could be that you can sneak the staples in at the edging. And then lastly, if you have a dust cover for the bottom, stick it on. I'm just going to reuse the one that came with this. And then we're done. This was a very easy and straightforward project. It can definitely be done quickly and simple. If you're looking to add a footrest to one of your armchairs, then I recommend just going out and getting an old one and doing it up. It's very straightforward, just adding new material basically to it and it's done. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.